Count your cells. Most aren't human. They run you. You think of yourself as one organism. By cell count, you're a coalition. About 30 trillion of your cells carry your DNA. Another 39 trillion belong to bacteria, fungi, and viruses living in and on you. That makes you 43% human. The other 57% has been running parts of your body the whole time. The cell count comes from a 2016 study by Milo's group at the Weizmann Institute. They added up every cell in a reference adult human: red blood cells, skin cells, muscle, neurons, gut lining, everything. The total came to roughly 30 trillion human cells. Most of those are red blood cells, which is why the number is so high. Then they counted the microbes. The biggest population by far lives in your large intestine, packed into the colon at densities of around 1 trillion cells per gram of stool. Tally up the colon, the small intestine, the skin, the mouth, the lungs, and a handful of smaller sites, and you reach about 39 trillion microbial cells. That gives a ratio of about 1.3 microbes for every human cell. The old textbook number of 10 to 1 was an estimate from 1972 based on rough sampling. The new number is direct and careful. So when you walk into a room, more than half the cells walking in with you have genomes that aren't yours. Calling them passengers is wrong. They are doing jobs you can't do yourself. Start with digestion. Your own enzymes can't break down most of the fiber in plants. Bacteria in your colon ferment it into short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, propionate, acetate, which your gut cells then burn for fuel. About 10% of the calories you absorb each day actually come from this microbial step. Next, your immune system. Roughly 70% of your immune cells are stationed along your gut lining, right next to that microbial population. They are constantly sampling it. Helpful microbes train your immune system to tolerate them. Pathogens get attacked. Without that early training in infancy, the immune system miscalibrates, and you see more allergies, more asthma, more autoimmune disease. Then there's vitamin synthesis. Vitamin K, biotin, and several B vitamins are produced by your gut bacteria, not your own cells. And there's the gut-brain axis. Microbes produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA precursors that influence mood, appetite, and even decision-making through the vagus nerve. You aren't carrying them, you're running on them. We didn't have to guess at this. We have two large-scale lines of evidence. First, the Human Microbiome Project, an NIH effort started in 2007 that sequenced microbial DNA from over 200 people across 18 body sites. It cataloged more than 10,000 microbial species living on the average healthy adult, and showed that everyone's mix is different, like a fingerprint, but everyone has roughly the same set of jobs being done. Second, germ-free mice. Scientists raise these mice in sterile bubbles from birth, with zero microbes anywhere in or on them. The result is a different animal. Germ-free mice have smaller intestines, weaker immune systems, abnormal brain development, anxious behavior, and they need about 30% more food just to maintain the same weight as a normal mouse. Give them back a normal microbiome, and most of those defects reverse. The conclusion is unambiguous. The microbes aren't passengers. They're collaborators that built into our biology so long ago that pieces of you, calories, immunity, mood, physically require them to function. You aren't one organism. You're a working democracy of about 69 trillion cells, only 43% of which are voting with your DNA. That's why you're 43% human, and why the other 57% matters. Subscribe to Curious Science for more body biology answered the way scientists actually answer it. Monday, why healing cuts itch. Histamine is calling for reinforcements.